Shalom, shalom, peace, shalom, blessings to the children of the Israel, the 12 tribes scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. It's your brother Ahmath IQAhmath, first name IQ is all the same. You've reached DSTM. DSTM. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't do it. Don't even think about it. This is Manna Monday. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Why Yahweh Shai. This is episode number 218. 218. Following up from 217 this past weekend. Hopefully everybody had a blessed Shabbat and rest of your weekend. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. I do want everybody to make sure that you've abided by the rules of the house before you came in here. Did you wipe your feet? Did you do that? Hopefully that you did. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're new to the channel, you're just kind of breezing by, you happen to find me, whatever. Wiping your feet means hitting the like button. That's all I need. All I need is to help this algorithm show some kindness to your brother so that this transmission to disrupt the system can be spread and others can be notified and, can have some life in this cesspool of information and folly and everything else known as the internet and YouTube. But again, hopefully everybody's doing well, man. Let's get to the topic at hand. You see the name of the title: biological genocide continues in the Black and Hispanic communities. Continues. There's always this false narrative in regards to, oh, we can't play victim, we can't victim shame, we can't keep talking about how there's some sort of conspiracy regarding targeting of Black and Hispanic and Native American communities for destruction and genocide. We can't keep talking about the past, lynchings, burnings, hangings. We're not going to talk about Black Wall Street. We're not going to talk about the destruction of whole societies, civilizations, genocide of a people. Oh, we can't talk about the destruction of the Native American communities, over 300 tribes, all either slaughtered or subject to reservations or to jail cells. Or we can't talk about that no more. We don't want to talk about the Aztec and the Mayan, the Aztec, Maya, the Inca, empires, which were raided, colonized, and the people subject to slaughter. We can't talk about the Maroon Society. I mean, why can't we talk about that anymore? Especially when it's still going on in 2023. As long as it's relevant, as long as it's news, we're going to talk about it. We're going to bring it up. We're going to utilize this type of information to awaken our people to really what's going on in the earth. You so-called Blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics, you are the children of Israel, man, the chosen people of the Most High God, and you're being targeted. You're being targeted systematically for destruction, for ignorance, for overall genocidal destruction of our people. I mean, you're the subject matter that all the world wants to, hold in their lips. Okay, so let's get a few scriptures, and then we're going to get to some of these current events and some of the things I want to bring out today. Let me share my screen with y'all, and we'll get right to it. All right, so let's start off here. And I did want this scripture right here, Psalms 37. I was looking for it earlier, and I found it. So Psalms 37, we might start up a little bit earlier, and then we'll get on from there. Actually, before we go there, I always like the scripture, and I always want to make sure that it's in the minds of our people, man. When you're looking at and trying to understand what's happening with our people, what's happening with our enemies, who's plotting against us. Well, guess what? You're gonna have to pay attention then. Psalms 21, Shalaki, Proverbs 21 and 12. It says, "The righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked." So if you're a righteous man, if you're a man of the Lord, if you're following after the commandments and the faith of Christ, you're going to wisely consider the house of the wicked. You got to wonder what's going on with wisdom and understanding in the house of the wicked. What are the wicked up to? The wicked are your enemies, the so-called white man and his cronies, the rest of the heathens, some of the African tribes, the East Indians. In particular, the East Indians, man, they be sliding under the rug. But them East Indians, man, hate you with a passion. We'll look at that in another time. But nonetheless, Japanese, Chinese, Arab, so forth and so on, man. Everybody has a amount of disdain for the Black, Native Americans, and Hispanics. That's the house of the wicked. Okay, and you said, well, how do you know who's the? Well, let me open up another tab just so that we can understand a little something. We're gonna go to the classic Job 9:24. Job 9:24 reads, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he?" I'm not going to get into a whole breakdown historical lesson in regards to who's in control of the earth and how they obtained power and who gave it to them. We've done that a numerous times, right? But lo and behold, the so-called white man is the one who all fingers point at when it comes down to who's in control of the earth. We're talking about the financial system. We're talking about the real estate system. We're talking about world religions is dominated and controlled by the so-called white man. Just America alone being the hub of the beast system, the great horde, right? Largest military on the earth, man, 750 military bases throughout the earth, establishing and dictating policy. I mean, who controls all governmental structures and rules? What currency is the world basing it? The world reserve currency is based after the dollar. Whose face is on it? A so-called white man. I mean, the earth has been given into his hand, and the Lord said that he's wicked. Just ask yourself, man, who's in control of all diplomatic policy? So doesn't matter if they can consider themselves American, French, German, Russian, Scandinavian, Lithuanian, Ukrainian. They're all the same. They come from the same forefather, same bloodline. There's a reason why they're over there in Ukraine and Russia fighting, and they have to tie around themselves either red, I believe it's red or white ribbons on Russian troops and yellow and blue for the Ukrainians because they can't tell. That's the only way they can identify who's who. You understand what I'm saying? So one side can say, well, we're Ukrainian. The other side said, well, we're Russians. Visually, you can't tell the difference. Why? Because they come from the same seed. That's why they have to tie around themselves red and blue and yellow ribbons around their uniforms so they can identify and there's no friendly fire that ends up getting shot. Somebody ends up getting shot and killed. Okay, just in case. Okay, if y'all don't believe that one. Okay, let me just see. Let me see. Let me see. Maybe that's not the one. I don't really have time to really want to prove this like that. But if I can't find it immediately, you look it up for yourself. Uh, yeah, I think it's because of the armbands and the symbols, but nonetheless, because I'm going off the fly, I didn't have a chance to pull up the exact article or the information. But I'll try, just so that I can prove it later on. I'll do that. I'll do that. But nonetheless, there are images and there's reports of how that they distinguish between each other is because they wear different ribbons and decals and insignias on their uniforms because they look the same. You understand? See, this is similar to what I'm talking about. See the red on his shoulder, on his shoulder. That's what they be doing. But anyway, getting back to the point, not to get distracted. uh, the earth's been given into the hand of the wicked. The question then remains: he covered the faces of the judges. How does he cover the face of the judges? He's done it through politics. He's done it through the Renaissance era, where he changed the true depictions of the holy men and women of the scriptures into them looking like themselves. Right? Look at all the dark pre Renaissance, dark age images, pre 14th century. And even some later. You'll find dark skinned representations of our people as holy figures in the scriptures, being in what's considered a black nobility. They changed all those faces up. The greatest form of identity theft and vandalism was done by the so called white man when he started taking credit for things that were not his, things that he did not do. And then the final question is, if not, where and who is he? So if those things don't answer your particular question on who the wicked is, the Lord said, well, you tell me where and who he is then. Going back to Proverbs, it says, the righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked. So we got to consider what the hell's going on in the house of the wicked. Why is he consistently targeting and victimizing our people? Right? But the Most High overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. The Most High is going to ultimately overthrow him for his wickedness and everything that he's committed himself to. Now we'll go to Psalms 37. And let's read 9 and we'll read down to 12. It says, for evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Most High Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. Okay. So this is what we're all waiting for. The patience of the faith, the patience and the faith of the saints, the children of Israel, rest upon these words. The evildoers are going to be cut off. Those that commit evil, sin, unrighteousness, wickedness, those that have ruled the earth unjustly, they're going to be cut off. So the so-called white man's reign is going to be over with. And it's been prophesied, and slowly but surely is happening. You can see the grasp of the earth is falling out of his hands. America is sliding down fast, right? And the slide is, the slide got grease on it. And he's slipping and sliding. He's grasping. He's holding on. He's trying not to slide down faster. He's trying to slow down. But the trajectory is going downward. No doubt about it. Continuing on, it says, for yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider this his place, and it shall not be. So we know that this place is not going to be any longer. The hub of his control, America, is going to be destroyed. His rulership is going to be, he's going to be replaced in rulership by the children of Israel under the kingship of our Lord and Savior, Mashiach Yahushai, who the world calls Jesus Christ. For a little while, the wicked is not going to be said. In a little while, he ain't going to be around no more. He's not going to be able to wreak havoc, poison in populations and communities anymore. Continuing on, but the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. So this is what I want to look at. The wicked plotting against the just. The wicked plotting against the just. He's constantly plotting against our people, man. Constantly involving himself in all manners of evil, and then wants to sit back and throw stones and hide his hand and act like, oh, he's for us. You having this little fake reparations talk. You got white people running out there trying to, protest for protesting for Black Lives Matter and all that other stuff. These are all political oppositions that are all utilized as tools by politicians, by nonprofit groups. It's a money grab. Don't nobody really care about Black lives like that. See, the Lord said this, the anger of the Lord have divided them. He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priest. They favored not the elders. So speaking about the downfall of our children with the children of Israel in rebellion during the time of our captivity in Babylon. Here in verse 17, it says this, as for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us. So we're not going to be saved through voting. It's not going to be done through your money. It's not going to be through your successes on the basketball court or the football field, or how cold you are rapping on the mic, or how you can sing and break a glass with the highest pitch. None of that. Because our people are investing their time in trying to hope that America somehow is going to turn around and repent from its evil deeds and do right by us. That ain't going to happen. Why? Because verse 18, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. This is not only through our own destruction, man, but you got the police out there hunting our people down. The alphabet agencies out there setting up framing. Got confidential informers doing all kind of things, man, spoiling and plotting against our people, constantly keeping the prison industrial complex filled with Black and Hispanics, so that the shareholders and stockholders can continually make money hand over fist over the downfall of our people, man. They said they hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. Well, what was happening back in the days? Segregation times, sharecropping times, slavery times. You could not go out into the streets freely. I mean, look at Emmett Till. They had that movie last year kind of got swept under the rug, never really even got the attention that it naturally deserved. Brother supposedly whistled at a white woman. She went and got a whole lynch mob done. They threatened his family. They were going to kill the whole family. He was down there visiting from Chicago, visiting his family down south. White lynch mob ran up into the family's house, said, give us the boy that whistled at the white woman, or we're going to kill the whole family. They gave him up. Killed him. So if y'all ain't seen the movie, you ain't seen it, I mean, go check that stuff out. Can't go into certain areas, man, without being harassed and ran out. Police called on you. You know, the Karens is out there, the Kens is out there. See, our end is near and our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. So let's get to the business at hand, man. Let's get to the business at hand. There's a lot of things I wanted to cover, want to look at. Let's look at this first. Criminal charges filed against Watts Metal Recycler and its owners. Criminal charges. This has been going on for a couple of years now, that there's been an issue in regards to a recycling center set up and built right next to Jordan High School in Watts. This place has been emitting toxic chemicals for years onto our. And if you don't know, you're out of state, you don't know about Watts, you ain't heard about Watts. Watts is a predominantly Black and Hispanic neighborhood. On the east side of LA, it's the hood, the ghetto. Right? And the students at Jordan High School, you know who inhabit them, Blacks and Hispanics. So here they are setting up a toxic recycling metal center next to the high school. Complaints have been going on for years. They finally now are coming up saying, oh, what they actually been doing is criminal. Yeah, but guess what? Guess how many kids have probably got cancer now or going to have cancer in the next 5 to 10 years? It's a little bit too late now. Students, they wouldn't put this by Beverly Hills High School. This wouldn't be next to Palisades High School, University High School. They wouldn't put these things next to any affluent neighborhood high schools. Bel Air, they wouldn't put this there. But they always, for disregarded the Black and Hispanic lives, man, they don't give a damn. They set up shop next to us, man, killing our kids. And then they mess around and go and have to probably pay some fines. Just because some criminal charges came up and there's felonies on deck doesn't mean that there's going to be real prosecution and people getting convicted and put in jail cells. A lot of times, man, they put them slaps on the wrist, make them pay heavy fines and relocate. So look at the students and faculty at Jordan High School say they have spent decades, that's 10 years as a decade, that's multiple years, complaining about harmful industrial operations next door to the Watts campus, but to little avail. Piles of scrap metal have towered over a 10-foot wall separating S&W Atlas iron and metal from the school's blacktop basketball court, and the company's operations have hurled shards of metal onto school's grounds and dusted the campus in an iridescent shimmer of metals. Now, amid rising outrage from community members, LA County District Attorney General Gascon has announced the filing of 24 criminal charges against Atlas and its owners. And some of y'all say, "Oh yes, hooray! Finally, justice is being done." Hey, after decades of metals being hurled over into the blacktop areas, of the shavings of metals, man, you know that those metals, man, can fly through the air and come up into your nostrils and get you jacked up with cancer and carcinogens. And now we're saying, oh, justice is served. At a Wednesday news conference at Jordan High School, Gascon and his prosecutors have charged Atlas along with father and son owners Gary and Matthew Weisenberg. You know, the BERG, the Bergs are always, you know, those names are always affiliated with a certain people. They wear little hats. You know what I'm saying? We call them GMO Jews over here. They're not the real thing. They the off-brand fake. You know what I'm talking about. I can't speak too much more on them, but those people with 22 felonies and 2 misdemeanors, the criminal complaint alleges the scrapyard illegally disposed of hazardous materials, including brain-damaging lead. Hello? On at least 5 occasions between July 2020 and August 2022. At least 5 occasions that they know of. You know, there's more than that that's going on, man. Look, you know, these are the type of things that we see happening on the regular with our people, man. Look at this in St. Louis. This is popped in my head. In the 50s. Did the Army spray harmful chemicals on U.S. cities? Yes, they did. Army sprayed St. Louis with toxic dust. See, this is an article from 2012. I remember bringing this out in 2012. It's damn near 11 years ago. Bringing this information out. You understand? So they did it. They did it here. Operation Sea Spray. That always in the 50s, man. They was doing hellified experimentations, man. In the 1950s, the U.S. released a bioweapon in San Francisco. The U.S. has a history of testing biological weapons on the public. And you know who they were guinea pigs, who they love to spray down. You know who they love to get. You know who they love to get. Look at this. I brought this out 12 years ago. Baltimore's Kennedy Krieger Institute sued over lead paint study. The suit accuses Kennedy Krieger Institute of endangering who? Poor black kids, as usual. And the Krieger Institute is affiliated with Johns Hopkins. And Johns Hopkins, do the math on what their involvement is or was with the health crisis that happened over the last 3 years. Lead poisoning, they used lead paint in projects in low-income neighborhoods. See this? At the time, lead-based paint coated the walls of an estimated 95% of the homes in Baltimore's low-income neighborhoods. Hazardous paint they used in these homes. Whole families were inhaling this, and you got generations of people that got jacked up from this. But we're not supposed to reflect on that stuff, right? Because that was 12 years ago, and actually this happened in the 80s. It just came out in the 90s, in the early 2000s, I should say. Well, yeah, we're still going to bring it up because, look, it's still going on, 2023 here, dealing with hazardous chemicals being leached and leaked over, causing brain-damaging issues on our youth right here in Watts. Look at this. Manufacturer 3M to pay up to $12.5 billion to help 300 cities from Philadelphia to San Diego filter out forever chemicals from drinking water supplies after thousands of its household items were tied to cancer. See, these multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar companies, man, they could care less. They care about the bottom line. They're shortcutting. They're out here utilizing, dangerous and hazardous chemicals, man. Putting it in the. I mean, how long have I been talking about the water being poisoned? From everything from sterilants to metals to fluoride, you name it. Now all of a sudden they want to start acknowledging, oh yeah, sorry. You know what the crazy Negro over there was saying? Yeah, it's true. And I'm not saying just me. There's plenty of people who's been out there talking about things like this. But I bring it out to my people, my community, the Israelite community. So now 3M, man, they make Scotch tape and all kind of other stuff. $12.5 billion they got to pay out. Over 300 cities, man, from Philly to San Diego, they were tampering and had the drinking water all jacked up because they was dumping their chemicals into the water supply. And you say there's not a concerted effort to destroy our people, man? Give me a damn break. Look at the new scrutiny of aspartame, one of the world's most common sweeteners. This is another one. Brothers and sisters, y'all got to be very cautious of this thing called aspartame. It's the sugar substitute. It's in your diet, all the little diet drinks, Diet Cola, Diet Pepsi, Diet, Coke. It's in many of the gums, chewing gums, that is. You get the artificial sweeteners. You say, well, I'm not using sugar, man. Sugar is bad for me. I'm going to use this, Equal. That's worse than the damn sugar. That's how the white man plays. He acts like he's solving a solution, but then he's creating a whole new problem. So look for this chemical, aspartame, when you're thinking you're taking a shortcut because you feel a little guilty because you went and got that combo from McDonald's or wherever, and you say, "Well, make the drink a Diet Coke." Yeah, I'm gonna be more healthy with that. No, no, you're not. Want to know why? Look at this. Aspartame is a mainstay of diet beverages for decades. Is coming under new scrutiny amid fresh research linking the popular sugar substitute to a possible increased cancer risk. Everybody, not gonna say everybody. Aspartame has been on the hot seat for a long time now. And they're talking about it's coming under new scrutiny. I guarantee you, if I look up an article right now, you will find something that can talk about aspartame 10 years ago or more. Let's see. See, they got everything already down here from the 20s, 2023. Uh, yeah, I was just gonna try to do an experiment. We have to do maybe do that on your own time, So that's how I be getting distracted because my mind get to trying to prove another point. But aspartame has been on the table as far as being a dangerous carcinogen and cancerous for a number of years now. They're talking about, oh, this is a new study. All of a sudden, we're trying to find out this actually could be dangerous. They've known it. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, the same ones who just approved the clone chicken meat and clone everything. These are the ones who saying it's all right. Oh, I guess if the FDA approves it, it must be healthy. Food and Drug Administration has reviewed the science of aspartame's safety 5 times since greenlighting it for its consumption in 1981, and more than 90 countries have approved its use. But the World Health Organization recently called 2 meetings to reevaluate its safety and has signaled that it may issue new warnings about the food additive later this summer. The American Beverage Association, which represents leading beverage makers such as Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and other industry organizations are already pushing back. About 95% of the carbonated soft drinks that have a sweetener use aspartame, as well as 90% of ready-to-drink teas represent a huge amount of the beverage market share. So, you got to be careful when you're seeing some of these drinks. No, zero sugar. Well, look and see what's making it sweet. If it's got aspartame in it, it's probably going to be a little bit dangerous for you, especially if you're consuming it on a regular basis. Just a little health tip from your brother. Montana Attorney General sounds the alarm. Armed IRS agents are rounding up gun purchase records. We talked about this some months back, right? Slow Biden went and signed the approval for the 80,000 IRS agents. Whether that's still on the table, I can't recall if the Republicans shot it down after they did the whole little debt ceiling budget situation. But apparently, I still did the article and covered the armed IRS agents now, and they're on the move. First thing they're coming for is your First Amendment right. So in Montana, they going over here storming this gun store, demanding the records of gun purchases, and they're armed up and strapped up, Gestapo style. Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen spoke to Breitbart News Saturday morning and told us that the armed IRS agents rolled into Great Falls Highwood Creek Outfitters Wednesday and seized dozens of boxes of ATF Form 4473s, the background check form containing information on gun purchases. Did you hear that? They're confiscating information on who's buying guns there in Montana because them Edomites up there, man, they living high on the hog up there, mountain country, strapping themselves, arming themselves to the T, going off grid. They want to make sure that they got all those people are lined up because when they start pushing forward with the digital currencies and really start implementing the New World Order and the beast system, those are the people they're trying to snatch up first. The dissidents, the ones who's going to cause any problems, the insurrectionists. That's why they concentrate on the January 6th and all. They want to get rid of all the problem people first. The rest of the sheep, they're going to fall in line. So this is, the minor threat. Oh, send the IRS in there, strap them up, man. Get all the information on the gun purchasers so we can have their information for the future. Store owner Tom Van Hoop said at 7:30 I came in and they pulled in behind me with 20 heavily armed agents. He said by the time all was said and done, the agents left him with about 30 minutes of time to do business, so he lost virtually an entire business day. You think they reimbursed him for that? No. So be aware. This is how the system is crashing in. And that's why I said, man, the so-called white man, he knows he's sliding down this damn pole. I mean, sliding down, sliding down this slide, greased up. And he's trying to stop at all costs, man. He's pushing the panic button, trying to move faster to implement this quote unquote great reset, according to the World Economic Forum, and this Build Back Better program by Slow Biden, all under the same controller, Satan, bringing in and establishing and continuing on in this beast system that he has. Nearly 100 injured as a hailstorm pummels Lewis Tomlinson concert in Colorado. I mean, if you don't know, if we haven't noticed by now, man, everything is out of whack, man. Puerto Rico had 125-degree days about a month ago. Hail was been hitting from Colorado to Florida to Texas. We've got tornadoes that's hitting, and we're in the summertime, mind you. We're in the summertime. California we haven't really started heating up yet. Everything is all out of whack, man. But the hailstorms, I mean, that comes from the Most High. I mean, we know. Let me see, Isaiah 29, and let's read verse. Let's read verse 6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire." So we see how the Most High comes with his vengeance. What did he utilize? He utilizes the elements, man. The elements of destruction. He said, man, thunder, great noise, earthquake, storms and tempests, flames of fire. Let's get the other classic. We know how the Most High plays. So when the Most High starts wreaking havoc and he starts establishing, this ain't global warming. Nothing to do with the damn. Yeah, the Most High is controlling all of this stuff. It just be so amazing to me. I'd be like, damn, something ain't right, but something is right. I'll be having to check myself. It's the Most High at the end of the day. Establishing judgment on the earth, man, letting his presence be known. Sirach 39:28. There be spirits that be created for vengeance, which in their fury lay out sore strokes, and in the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and what? And hail and famine and death, and all these are created for vengeance. So for whatever reason, the Most High said, I got 100 people I need to take vengeance on. He says, I wound, I heal, I make alive. He cuts, he mends. 100 people injured as a hailstorm pummels Lewis Tomlinson concert in Colorado. At least 7 people were taken to the hospital after the hailstorm at the Red Rocks Park, an amphitheater around 10 miles west of Denver, officials said. So a powerful hailstorm crashed down on the concert goers at the Lewis Tomlinson show in Colorado on Wednesday night, injuring 100 people, including at least 7 who was taken to the hospital. So the wrath of the Lord is in full flare. Look at this. 1 killed and almost 2 dozen injured in overnight storms in Mississippi. Mississippi can't get a break. But you know what? The blood and the cries of the slaves, man, that was down there in the the oppressive manner of our people being dealt with down there, man, they crying to the Lord, man. And the Most High keeps coming back, hitting Mississippi upside the head. 1 killed, almost 2 dozen injured in the overnight storms in Mississippi. At least 1 person got killed, 2 dozen injured in the storms that swept through Mississippi on Sunday night, and more than 50 million across the Southeast face the threat of more severe weather, including tornadoes. Imagine that. So this is where we're at weather-wise, man. The Lord is making his voice be heard, utilizing the elements to bring forth judgment, wrath, and destruction. Look at New York rabbis who caused a deadly fire avoid jail time with the plea deal. Isn't that nice? Did you see what I just read? Deadly. Some people died through the negligence of these New York rabbis. Burned down this building, man. Killed our people. And then they come out with a plea deal and avoid jail time. A judge accepted a plea deal that includes no jail time for two New York rabbis who were charged in a deadly fire. The fire, which happened 2 years ago, was caused after the men used a propane-filled blowtorch inside the facility to perform a pre-Passover kosher cleaning ritual without a permit. I mean, where's that at in the scriptures, man? A pre-kosher Passover cleaning ritual that you got to use a damn blowtorch. This is why I can't even really rail on these damn people like they need to be railed on, man, because of their influence with the platform that I'm utilizing. But here they are doing non-scriptural things as it pertains to the Passover, talking about a blowtorch needed to clean out. Who the Lord knows what they're doing. Start a fire, kill people. Let's continue with this. With more than 100 firefighters and supporters chanting no plea deal and denouncing a New York district attorneys outside the courthouse, two rabbis pleaded guilty with no jail time to causing a double fatal adult home fire in March of 2021. As part of the deal, Nathaniel Sommer pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree manslaughter, a felony, and is expected to be sentenced to 5 years probation. His son Aaron pleaded guilty to 1 count of second-degree reckless endangerment, a misdemeanor, which will carry a sentence of 3 years probation. Hey, but they're over there in New York, man, locking up every Jake that's hanging out on the street corner. If you get caught with a gun, 3 years automatic. They ain't even taking you to trial. All kind of madness going on over there, man. You just seen a story, what was it, last week or the week before that? I believe, no, last weekend. White woman with kids named Aryan and Nation killed a Native American girl walking on the trail in I believe it was South Dakota or Montana. I can't remember which state it was, but y'all remember. No charges for her. And they're questioning the family about the Native American girl being was she intoxicated or not? Walking. As if it's her fault. That this damn wicked ass white witch killed one of our little sisters, man. I mean, give me a damn break. And to my knowledge, if I remember, it was I believe a Hispanic couple that got killed because of this fire. So go figure. No such thing as white privilege, huh? New York rabbis, man. Charged with second-degree manslaughter. They walk away, no jail time. Everything's cool. Money talks. House Republicans push off Biden impeachment bid for now as hard right clamors for action. So the Republicans, man, were trying to move towards impeaching slow Biden, and the House Speaker Representative Kevin McCarthy said, "No, we're not going to do that. Slow down." So somebody got in his mind, his pockets, or something, because he caved in on the debt ceiling deal. He's caving in on them saying, now we got to go after slow Biden. We got enough on him to impeach him. All of his wickedness, all of his BS that he's been on, that we've, chronicled and talked about here on this channel. And they said, no, slow down. We can't, we're not going to do that right now. Let him slide. I mean, damn, he ain't got but a year left of his term. They ain't gonna slow Biden hit the people behind him, man. The elites behind him got a lot of people shook, boy. I mean, because this dude can barely put a sentence together, can barely walk off stage. He gets lost. Everybody knows he's a complete buffoon, but he's a good puppet, and he's untouchable right now. Amazing. Eager to impeach President Slow Biden, hard right House Republicans forced a vote Thursday that sent the matter to congressional committees in a clear demonstration of the challenge that Speaker Kevin McCarthy faces in controlling the majority party. The ability of a single lawmaker in the 435-member House to drive an impeachment resolution this week caught Republicans off guard, and many of them viewed it as a distraction from other priorities. So the impeachment bid for now has been pushed off. 4 in 10 California residents are considering packing up and leaving. New poll finds California's become a damn hellhole as far as economically to live. The governmental structure is all jacked up, man. I mean, it's just getting burnt out. The agendas are getting pushed heavily over here. So 40% trying to get up out of here. This is why the California state of California is talking about an exit poll, uh, exit tax. If you leave the state, they're looking at your income. They want to tax you because you're taking away that income that could be helping California flourish, or they're taking that away. Oh, you're leaving that money? No, we need a little something before you leave. Can you imagine? Homeless numbers are rising in the US. So, everything's supposed to be all good, but why is homelessness rising on the rise? The number of homeless people counted on the streets and in shelters around the US has broadly risen this year, according to the Wall Street Journal review of data from around the nation. So, homelessness is on the rise. You understand? Um, Only showing you more of the trajectory of where America is going, man. The economy is getting ready to have a complete implosion, you know, and the inevitable is here. The happy days are here again. All that's over with. The times of the stimulus, the PPP, the EDD extensions, and getting extra money, and all that's out the door now. The crypto shaking and baking and gambling, a lot of them crypto, all of them is out of here. Where's Shiba Inu? Where's that at? Is anybody balling off of that anymore? No. How about Dogecoin? Where's that at? Is anybody got a gang of money off of that anymore? No. All those things crash and burn. Those quick hype coins that everybody made a little killing off of. That's about a year now. Hopefully, if you made some money off it, you was wise with it. You did what you were supposed to do. But they're crashing in on that, man. They're manipulating the markets with the precious metals. They, trying to falsely keep prop up this the Wall Street and all that. I mean, it's smoke and mirrors at this point. When you look outside, you see the real conditions of what's happening in America. This article is indicative of really what's happening. Let's continue. Rate hikes echo around the world as inflation proves unrelenting. So don't be looking for any relief on this inflation anytime soon. America just inflated the dollar and with $3 trillion more they had to print up to keep operations going and pay some bills. So inflation is going to be unrelenting, man. We're in for a long haul of high prices and accelerated tax rates and everything else for the foreseeable future. Let's say that. Look at this, man. Revenge of the nerds, man. Here they go. Zuckerberg versus Musk. It's on. Tech Titans joust online as Mark Zuckerberg tells Elon, "Send me the location." Look at those. Look at Zuckerberg trying to get hood. Drop the Addy. Send me your location. You want to get you what? You want to catch this fade? Send me the location. These two idiots. And they trying to see, and that's why I said last weekend, man, the distractions is heavy. What's going to be next? It's the aliens in the backyard 1 minute. Next minute they want to say, "Oh, it's the sinking Titanic submarine." Now now that that's been resolved, the next thing is, the big cage match coming down. Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. They're going to settle their beef in the cage. Zuckerberg 39 posted on his Instagram story, "Send me the location," sharing a screenshot of Musk's earlier tweet bragging, "I'm up for a cage match if he is, LOL." So clearly, Musk is making a joke about it. But Zuckerberg really has been doing his little MMA training, you know. So he said, "Send me the location. Let's get busy." I seen little videos of Mark Zuckerberg doing his little MMA, trying to do his little MMA stuff. I mean, he don't look tough, but at the same time, he thinks he's good enough to get Musk. So clearly, the new distraction is going to be the pay-per-view, hyped up. Will Dana White at UFC make a concession to put on this little circus, bread and circus situation going on? I mean, here's the next distraction, in my opinion. Let's see how big they take this. How this starts infiltrating the sports news stations. How it's going to start making into the blogs, into the headlines. We're going to see how far they take this thing. And then we got to really look and see in the house of the wicked, what are they really doing behind closed doors while they got everybody looking to see about this fake fight that's about to get set up. Cameron Diaz has not spoken to friend Jamie Foxx at all since his mysterious hospitalization in April and doesn't know what is going on with his health or what will happen with their beleaguered movie Back in Action. So still no sightings of Jamie Foxx, even though statements are coming out from his camp and people saying that it's him tweeting it. Nobody knows. The other brother that the brother damn, what's that brother's name? I can't recall the brother's name, but they have a Netflix movie coming out called They Clone Tyrone. And him and Jamie Foxx are co-starring in it. The brother went out on the red carpet. They asked him what was up. He was like, "Man, I've been calling and calling. He won't answer my calls, man. My prayers are with him. Hopefully he's okay." So none of his closest friends, nobody knows what's going on with Jamie Foxx. I mean, if it was a health matter, I can understand what you're saying. We respect the privacy of the Fox family, this, that, and the third, man. But how has it been so secretive of what happened with the brother? I mean, we've heard plenty of people, stars, go down. Oh, such and such broke his leg, or such and such got hurt on set. Oh, this one had a heart attack. Those things come out. But there's been so much secrecy and so much speculation of what's happening with him. It's very intriguing. Why after this happened in April? We're at the end of June now. We're getting ready to embark on July this weekend. Almost 3 months, man, and it's clouded in mystery. One minute his daughter's talking about, oh, we're getting ready to have a new TV show. Everything's great. He was just shooting basketballs. Well, if that's the case, he should be able to be live and then talk for himself then. Anybody else that's close to him said, but we can't get in contact with him. We don't know what's going on. Very mysterious what's happening with the brother. City on fire, the world's most dangerous city descending into an all-out war as machete vigilantes butcher and burn gangsters and mob justice. I mean, this is what's going on, man. In Haiti, all hell is breaking loose, man. Gangs are running the city. There's been, a coup taking over. Who's going to take over the city? Who's taking over the island? You got gangs that's running it. You got the public now who are creating their own civil armies fighting against the gangs, man. Bloodshed all in the streets, man. Tires burning all over the place. Hunger still happening, man. Murder, mayhem. I mean, it's crazy over there in Haiti right now. Pray for our brothers and sisters over there, man. Especially those that's in the truth, because there are Israelites over there in the truth, maintaining. But it's hell going on over there. Second Ezra, 15. We'll read 15 and 16 for time's sake. For the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men. I mean, it says swords in their hands, man. They are cats, man. They're handing out machetes in the streets to go to war for liberation against the oppressive gangs over there. The government structure completely shut down. America tried to intervene. They said, man, get the hell out of here. We don't want your help. We're better off, battling out amongst ourselves. Because if you come over here, you're going to kill us and you're going to colonize and take over the island. And the last time you came over here trying to help us back in, 2010 with the earthquake, hundreds of thousands of people end up getting cholera. UN workers was over here raping our women and all of that. The Clintons ran off with the money. So they said, man, we don't want your help no more. We know what happens when you come over here and get your little nasty, grubby hands on us. Beat it. So unfortunately, man, they're resorting to their own means to try to get some structure and some order back over there. So it says, for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Well, this is what's happening over there. The most dangerous city on earth has become even deadlier as vigilantes have taken the law into their own hands to hunt down the criminals street by street, turning Port-au-Prince into an open war zone. Horrific scenes over the last few months have seen fighting on the streets as gangs clash with vigilantes, with some of the criminals even being butchered, lynched, and burned. In May, the UN human rights chief declared the Caribbean nation was, quote, dangling over an abyss. As its capital of Port-au-Prince sinks further into a bloody urban war, persistent earthquakes, soaring inflation, famine, and near total political collapse all plague the city. While machine gun wielding gangs continue to terrorize the population, kidnapping, raping, torturing, and murdering at random. Experts believe these ruthless thugs now control up to 80% of the capital, paralyzing the city into a violent rage. Uh, This you want to take note of. Why? Because, with America's collapse, man, these are all things that America faces as well. These are all things that Yahweh Shai even prophesied and said things that would be happening in the end times. Earthquakes in diverse places, famine, pestilence. I mean, here we are talking about soaring inflation. I just got to read an article where it just said what inflation is unrelenting and it's not going to be stopping no time soon. Earthquakes are prone here. We've had earthquakes from California to New Jersey. Famine, but here's the key part: when society goes into collapse like this, man, organized gangs become the terrorists, becomes kill or be killed. Only the strong survive. I mean, you see movies like The Book of Eli. Those things are based upon realities, and you can see what's happening over there in Haiti. When all hell breaks loose, man, and there's a complete collapse of society, you get organized gangs that are saying we're going to band together and we're going to be the ones that's going to survive this thing. We're going to take over. We'll be the new face of the nation. Anybody opposes us is, all bets is off. So this is why it's important for, brothers and sisters to be cognizant of what happens in those particular situations and cycles. It turns into kidnap, raping, torturing, murdering, collapsing of the cities. You know, that's the type of stuff, man, that's headed for the future of ours. This is just a preview, man. Most High said, man, judgment must begin at the house of the Lord first. So when we're seeing this type of stuff, let me see if I can get that one. That's in the New Testament. Where is that one at? Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to remember that one. Which one is that? Can't remember that one. I can't remember that one off the top of my head. I got to come back to that one. I can't remember it. Give me 1 second. Maybe I can remember. Yeah, it's in the. I think it's in the Minor Prophets too. Not the Minor Prophets. I mean the gospel. I don't think it's in the gospel. Drawing the blank. Drawing the blank, y'all. Salakia. I gotta remember that one, man. I gotta remember it. I don't want to take up too much time trying to find it, but I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it. But nonetheless, the Most High pronounced that judgment was going to begin at the house of the Lord. And this is what we're seeing here, where the first initiations of judgment happening right here to the children of Israel, man, down there in Haiti. 6.4 magnitude earthquake strikes off the coast of Mexico. So earthquakes are still rocking and rolling, right? Banky Panky, Hunter Biden gave his passport details and income statements to Burisma executive to set up an account with a quote corrupt foreign bank that was shut down for breaking money laundering rules. So, the walls are caving in continually on Hunter Biden. But guess what? Hunter Biden to plead guilty to federal tax crimes, taking on and to take a deal on his gun charge. So all the charges that was coming up against Hunter Biden, man, they finally gave him a little slap on the wrist, more white privilege at his finest. I mean, the guy is accused of dodging paying millions and not paying millions in taxes, and they give him a plea deal and say no problem. Well, go ask Wesley Snipes if he got the same treatment. Hell no. Wesley Snipes got locked up. Lauryn Hill got hit up. Fat Joe got hit up. Ja Rule got hit up. I mean, there's a bunch of different celebrities, black and Hispanic celebrities, let alone just your average Joe Schmo out here on the streets, man. Brother ain't, brother fell behind on his uh child support payments. Oh, he's getting locked up. And didn't do close to what this guy, man, he wasn't even supposed to have a damn gun because he had I forgot what the law was, but him having here we go. Why am I even trying to remember? Hunter Biden also has agreed to enter a so-called pretrial diversion agreement in connection with a charge of possession of a firearm by a person who is a user or addict of illegal drugs. So when we say that, Hunter Biden is a dope fiend, crackhead, the law says that he is a user or an addict of illegal drugs. Oh, despite his daddy, Slow Biden, in the 94 crime bill targeted towards black and Hispanics, which he ushered in. And he's talking about if anybody has a little piece of crack, the size of a quarter, that's 5 years automatic in jail. No bail, no nothing. And meanwhile, his son is rocking up way more than that on the daily. And then he goes on TV talking about he's backs his son 100%. He fully believes his son is innocent, didn't do anything wrong. Well, clearly he already took a plea deal and said, "Dad, yeah, I did do wrong." And let's not hope that they don't find out the rest of the stuff that was on that laptop, man, leading some of this money laundering and this money back to you. But Slow Biden probably just told him, man, hey, this can't come back to me, son. I'll pull some strings, we'll get you a plea deal, but you got to cop to everything. Even though all the records came out, they said, man, they had $10 million they split up amongst multiple family members that they got dealing with some corrupt deals with China and Ukraine, and some money that went through the Slow Biden when he was vice president. I mean, the mafioso Slow Biden crime family, man, does it again. Does it again. So here you go. He pleads guilty to federal criminal tax charges, a court filing revealed. We just got through seeing that he also copped out to having a firearm by a person who's a user or addict of illegal drugs. Both of them he wasn't supposed to be having. Both of them could be considered, I don't know if they're saying that was a misdemeanor or whatever. But nonetheless, man, this dude's supposed to be locked up. But because he got the complexion for the connection and he got that money, and he's got the political backings and everything else, man, he's sliding like grease, man. There's justice for you. If you want to know about the damn devil, man, look at this. White-haired grandfather who drugged his wife, so 83 men. Let me read that again. White-haired grandfather who drugged his wife so 83 men he met on a depraved website could rape her. As this revealed, the couple were thought of as a lovely couple by neighbors. See, that's when you always know, man. He gets your food. He gives everybody food. The neighbors thought they were just a lovely couple, lovely old grand people, man. No problem. Everybody loves him. But look at it. Sirach 12:10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself. Oh, he's so nice little old man. Oh, Black Lives Matter. We love you guys. Oh yeah, I've got 2 white friends. I'm not racist. Though he humble himself and go crouching. You Israelite brothers out there, man, not to be an indictment. Y'all can do what you want to do, man. I get it. The scripture's really speaking about the kingdom in regards to the kings licking the dust up off our feet and all of that. Don't think, man, because you got to, brothers. I've been there, done that too. Though he humble himself and go crouching, because they bow down and kiss boots, man. Don't think all of a sudden, man, he's humble now, and we got a good slave on our hands. Oh. Because what does it say? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away, man. You ain't you not humble in the so-called white man in his kingdom right now. They can run around and play nice. You know, scripture say, man, he gonna seek to please the poor in this time right now. And that's all because the most high made the spirit of mercy fall on some of them to make sure that we're sustained in this captivity so that we can, be redeemed. But I mean, don't fall for the okey doke. Just like I said, man, that this nice old guy, good old guy, he's still Esau. All the neighbors thought he was nice little couple. Hebrews 12:16. Thus, there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau said, man, unless you can find anybody who's a worse fornicator or more profane than him, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. What profane? Let's look at that real quick. He said, if you can find one, man, more profane than him. Irreverent to anything sacred applied to persons. A profane person is when he takes the name of God in vain or treats sacred things with abuse and irreverence. Irreverent, proceeding from a contempt of sacred things or implying it. Not sacred, secular, relating to secular things, meaning he's worldly, carnal, polluted, not pure. The Lord said, man, if you can find anybody who will take the name of the Most High in vain because he believes he is God, nobody does it worse than him. Anything that's sacred, he treats it with abuse and irreverence. I mean, let's go back to 70 AD and the destruction of the temples. Let's go back all the way back into the what is it, like 167 or so, when they destroyed the temple under the Maccabees and the Greeks. Constant destruction. He said, unless there was anybody more profane than him, let find him. But Esau is the one, as we see here. This man drugged his wife so he can have 83 men rape her that he found on some depraved website. Old man that you would think, oh, this is a nice old man. Nobody, and this dude was a devilish demon trying to get 83 men to rape his old wife. Only Esau. Only Esau. So there you have it. There you have it, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Why Yahawashi, man. A lot going on, man. Y'all got to pay attention, pay close attention. Let's see what's going on out there, man. Another episode, DSTM, Don't Shoot the Messenger, episode 218, in the books. All right. I want to make sure that everybody continues to hit the like button. Let's keep the algorithms going, man. Continue your support of the men of Israel out there doing the works of the Lord, man. Always fear the Most High, keep the commandments, and lastly, don't shoot the messenger.